Can I caution a few, and I say experienced designers in the club, because as experienced designers, we have memories of flowers, correct? When I was 14 years old in the shop making funeral arrangements at Floyd's Flowers in Redford, if we had a $25 funeral arrangement, we used 5 white Fuji mums, 9 carnations, and a couple of stem of pom-poms in that big number 40 satin bowl. So for me, Fuji mums are funeral flowers, right? But for younger people today, Fuji mums are cool flowers. They love them, especially that beautiful chartreuse green that David's used. And I didn't mention it, but even in the blue and white pieces that I did, instead of using just hydrangeas all the time, I used a few Fuji mums. And then for those of you with a lot of experience, I use white standard mums as well. Just something a little bit different to get away from hydrangeas. Because what we're going to start to see, and you know what's going to happen, brides are going to start to come in and say, I don't want hydrangeas in anything because all my friends had hydrangeas in their weddings, right? So you have to have backup plans. And I say Fuji mums are wonderful. Standard mums are a little different. You know, we can talk about other focal flowers, but I just love it. And when he grabbed them, I thought, that's great. It's really a sign of what we need. He's also used the other bunch of white brillianthus I was looking for this morning. Isn't that beautiful? The white brillianthus, just great. And see how all the different heads, all of them have a beautiful 8 to 12-inch break on them so you can extend them. And the Lysianthus really gives it a nice little flow. You must have gotten the only bunch of white dendrobium orchids as well. Because I know we don't have any left in the cooler. But again, isn't that beautiful? Just with that white, almost a milk glass candlestick holder. And David's added tulle. Again, for our more experienced designers in the group, and you think of tulle, I think of the old Cadillac orchid corsages at Easter and Mother's Day, when you would do a nice big bow with the tulle and stick it on the back. Boy, that was really special back in the day. But today, we have the tulle. Thank you, Tim. I'm going to pass it around. Would you take that laptop? It has the glitter into it, and it has some body and stiffness. And you know, between us, because we're frugal business people, it's $6 a bolt. It's a lot cheaper to fill this arrangement with tulle than flowers, right? Let's be honest. And what does your bride want? What does your customer want? They want bang for their buck. They want a lot of show, a little glitz. Well, that tooling, that's what it gives you. It's got a little bit of that show. It's got some glitz with the sparkle spread throughout, and it's at a great inexpensive price. And again, I think the idea here is options. You know, they can pick different things. There's 2 white candlestick style bases that David has used here. That's 2 ideas you have for 2 different tables. David has taken the Syndicate Sales basic dish, the round dish, the 1-inch lip. About a 9-inch, and made his arrangement in that, so it's easy to deliver, and then it just sets right on top of that chalice. Perfect, right? The green Athos pom-poms, still very popular. You know, I always yell at the route salesmen because they come back and they're empty by Wednesday with no green button poms, or these Athos, beautiful color. And then carnations. One of the things you're going to see that we've used, now I've used the floral jean carnations in the first couple of arrangements that I used, right? David's used the pistachio carnations in this one, a beautiful soft green. You're going to see other carnations that David has used in different arrangements. And honestly, when I had Hitomi come here and we spent thousands of dollars, one of the things she talked about, use carnations. Why not? If nothing else, use your carnations as a base so you can use more expensive flowers on the perimeter of your arrangement. So keep that in mind. And then David has created some really nice visual effect with the lily grass. And once again, see how easy it is to work with? It just bends in and out. It just creates an illusion for the eye.
What is that in the center, the greens, or whatever?
Of course, there's white snapdragons, but the branches are a moss branch, something from the dried eye. One more time, and I think it's easy to go into the silk department, find something to add to your fresh flowers that's going to last a long time and create something very different. Now, David could have used honey myrtle or honey bracelet, probably would have looked very similar. But in this case, he decided to use the dry sticks and put those into the arrangement, just to give it a little different look. Once again, just to keep things a little bit different, we found a couple of different manufacturers when we were in Atlanta this year with the beautiful clear glass and then the silver bands on it. It's been a real popular glass line for us, I think, for party and event work. David's added some milky colored gems to the bottom. I think it's a nice finish. Let me tell you, you do things for weddings, and it doesn't matter how nice or how cheap the wedding is. People want to take things apart during the reception. My nephew got married, and the wedding reception was at the Henry Ford Museum. And I went downtown to Eastern Market, and I had these beautiful glass chalices. And I bought some grapes, the beautiful purple grapes, the big ones, the really large. So right after this beautiful meal and all this food, half the guys in the place take the arrangements off the top and start plucking grapes out of the center of the arrangements. That's fine, but I didn't wash them, so whatever. Anyway, just adding something to an arrangement helps give it a little bit of an illusion. I really like this. This is a piece that many years ago, I think, we probably might have done in an Eiffel Tower. Remember the thin bud vases from Syndicate, the Eiffel Tower vases? And we'd use maybe just a couple of starfighter lilies and maybe a dendro coming out the top, something very simple. Well, we belong to an import company, or we own an import company, and we brought in these stands. I think it's a great rental piece, very inexpensive, but it has the mirrored bottom, the clear tube, and then a mirrored top that David's worked right into. Can you see that? Isn't that a great piece? And then, saving money. David's very frugal. He's kind of like me. We both very cheap, I think. He's used some carnations. Here he's used some of that honey myrtle that I talked about a minute ago. He could have used in the other arrangement. Then he's used some salt sticks, painted green. So, kept the price on this arrangement very inexpensive. Now, that doesn't mean you have to sell it cheap. It just keeps the cost down, so your cost of goods is a little better. So maybe we can make money on a few of these centerpieces. Yeah. These I also like, though. It goes well. Another add-on, like we talked about earlier, more than one idea. There's 3 different heights. I think they're about $10 for a set of 3. What a great rental piece. And it's a perfect mirror image of the bigger one. You could even take this, perhaps put a little piece of foam in it, and add just 1 or 2 flowers to that. So you have some with flowers, some with candles, all around the table. It's a little bit different. Again, being the frugal designer that he is, David found a use to use up the rest of those moss-covered birch branches, and here it is. Isn't that a great little side piece to have for a wedding? A nice add-on. And this container for your brides, now I get this question from many people throughout the last couple of years. Do you have containers that are biodegradable? This whole line of containers is biodegradable. We have it in the green, we have the yellow, chartreuse green, lemon yellow, a nice earth tone brown. Really different, and then a couple of bright colors like orange and hot pink, but it is biodegradable for that bride or event that wants to be, earth friendly. This is a great new container that Syndicate Sales has come up with. They have in this beautiful shade of bright chartreuse green, a black, and a white, and a couple different sizes. A perfect item to do as an add-on for any centerpiece or table. Here's an old leftover, I think it's a couple of years old from Christmas. David's used it, added some bear grass and carnations, just done a real charming arrangement. It'd be nice to use on a cake table or something, or on the buffet table to set around. Or you could add it to the table centerpieces themselves. Just fun. Can I talk to you for a second about Hypericum? Hypericum now, you're going to have 2 or 3 different varieties of Hypericum. And I don't mean colors, because it comes in a lot of different colors. But Hypericum, we have standard Hypericum, which is 1 head of berries on a stem. We have the Mardi Gras variety that Esmeralda has made popular, where there's several breaks on a stem. So you might have 3 or 4 heads of berries. And then there's the new Romance series, which has a very large berry. It's almost like a grape. It's about 3 times the size of this. So in other words, it looks like Hypericum on steroids. But if you're going to ask for it, you need to be more specific. If you just want Hypericum, I'll get Hypericum. If you you want spray hypericum, I can get that too. And if you want the romance, you really want those big berries, I can get that as well. But you need to make sure that you know what you're asking. Okay? As Kim always does, whenever you ask Kim to do something, she does like 10 more things than you asked her to do. So David and I said, well, Kim, we'd like you to make up one of our set pieces for the show today. And she said, okay. And then a couple hours later, we had, I don't know, 12 different arrangements. Now, I don't know what table that Kim has in her house. It wouldn't fit on my table. But isn't that beautiful? But how about in front of the head table? Wouldn't that be beautiful? So every time we took a picture of the bride and groom, we had this beautiful rental piece that we could make money on over and over again. And what a statement, especially for maybe that garden wedding, something out on the farm, something very rustic but different, beautiful, soft pastel colors.
Actually, when I did design that piece, I designed that with a place card table in mind. Because as people are coming into a function, in your halls, I like that wow the minute they come in, before they even open the doors. So if you have a bag on your place card table, that's really actually an awesome piece. The boxes come right off. It'd be a great rental piece. But what a statement on your place card table. Right up there with your cards all in front of it.
Anybody have any questions on that one? Pretty self-explanatory, I think, right? So anyway, that's Kim's idea of a small, intimate table centerpiece. But the idea then also is accompanying pieces and to create a mood or a theme. And we have this beautiful line of opalescent ceramics. Some have this beautiful flower on it. And then combined with this beautiful little bubble bowl with the same finish, with some beautiful lavender, cool water roses, some sweet taquitos, and what looks like creme de la creme, possibly, roses.